Welcome back, Hononegah, Algebra 1. Today we're going to talk about section 2.4. Before we get started, let's do a little bit of warm up with a multi-step equals equation here. So this is a common mistake. Anytime you have a number outside, you're going to distribute. Whoops, sorry about that. Distribute the number outside. So the negative and the 4 is distributed. So negative 4 times 2 and then negative 4 times negative 2. Always combine like stuff on the same side of an equation. So notice I have an 8 on this side with a plus 8 on that side, or on the same side. So I'm going to go ahead and add those together. And now it just becomes a multi-step equation. I'm going to subtract 16 using inverse operations. Divide by negative 8. And m would equal negative 1. The next one, again, comes back from chapter 1. We're going to solve this thing for y. So I'm going to subtract the 2x from both sides. And notice when I subtracted the 2x, I couldn't add it with the 14 because they were not alike. And then I'm going to divide everything in the problem by 2 so that I could get the y by itself. So that goes back to chapter 1. So now there's the homework assignment that you'll have at the end of this. So let's talk about section 2.4, multi-step now with inequalities. So the first thing when I have a multi-step inequality, just like when I have a multi-step equation, I'm going to look at the side of the inequality. I'm going to try to simplify it as best I can. Maybe it's distributing, maybe it's adding like terms. And then I'm going to use inverse operations to go ahead and isolate the variable. Do not forget that if you multiply or divide, if you multiply or divide by a negative number, you got to change the inequality symbol. So here we go. Just like solving, I'm going to add 4 to both sides. Adding 4 does not change the inequality symbol. Next, I'm going to divide by a negative 2. That does change the inequality symbol. And then the graph, we've got negative 6, closed circle, and v is less than. So I'm going to shade to the left. Solving, I'm going to multiply both sides by 12. That does not change the inequality symbol because I am multiplying by a positive 12. Subtract 18 from both sides. Again, that does not change the inequality symbol because I am subtracting. Making a small graph here, positive 18, open circle, and shaded left. Next one, I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. Then I'm going to multiply both sides by negative 3. Multiplying by a negative changes the inequality symbol. So there's my solving. Graph, negative 3, closed circle because of the equal to, and the x values are greater than negative 3. So notice the x. Here's the first time we've had an x on both sides of the problem. Just like when you have an equal sign, you have to get the x's on the same side. So I'm going to subtract 2x. Subtracting does not change the inequality symbol. So this is very much like solving an equal sign. You're going to add 5. Again, adding and subtracting does not change the inequality symbol. Dividing by a positive 4 does not change the inequality symbol. So I solve this. X is less than or equal to 4, so I have a closed circle and shaded left, which is less. This is a you try. I would like for you to pause the video, try each of these by yourself, and see if you can get the correct answer. All right, I'm back. So I'm going to do these quickly. Adding 1 to both sides, dividing by 4. B is less than or equal to 2. So 2, closed circle, to the left. Next one, I'm going to subtract 8. Subtracting does not change the inequality symbol. Divide by a negative 9. That does change the inequality symbol. So 4, closed circle, shaded left, because it's less. Next one, I'm going to subtract 11. Subtraction does not change the inequality symbol. Multiply by a negative 2. Multiplying by a negative does change the inequality symbol. So negative 2, open circle, shaded less. I have an x on both sides, so I'm going to subtract 3x to get the x's on the same side. add 12. Again, addition does not change the inequality symbol at all. Dividing by a positive 2 does not change the inequality symbol at all. So now, positive 4, open circle, shaded left. Multi-step, and now we're going to deal with some special situations, okay? And so anytime, well, I'll get to it in a second then. I'm going to distribute. I'm going to subtract 8b. Uh-oh, the letter is gone. So here's what you got to ask yourself. Is what's left true? Because if it is, then you're talking about all real numbers or infinitely many solutions. If the statement is not true, now you're talking about no solution. So is negative 3 is negative 3 greater than 12? And the answer to that is no. Negative 3 is not bigger than 12, and so this is no solution. Distribute 10w minus 2. Again, if any time the letter is gone, you have to ask yourself what's left. Is it true or not? Is negative 2 less than or equal to 7? The answer to that is yes, it is. So now you're talking about infinitely many solutions, and sometimes referred to as all real numbers. I can add together like stuff on the same side. 8g and minus 5g are alike, so I can add them together on the left-hand side of this equation. Subtracting 3g. Uh-oh, the letter is gone. So I have to ask myself, is negative 4 smaller than negative 3? And the answer to that is yes. So there's infinitely many solutions, or sometimes referred to as all real numbers. If you actually want to know the symbol, it's the infinity symbol. You try, hit pause, and you try the next two. All right, I'm back. 2k minus 10 is less than 2k plus 5. I subtract 2k from both sides. Uh-oh, the letter is gone. Negative 10 is less than 5, so infinitely many solutions. Distribute. I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides, which does not change the inequality symbol. Graphing, closed circle, shaded greater. Word problem. You need a mean score of at least 90 points to advance to the next round of the touchscreen trivia. What score in the 5th game will allow you to advance? Well, first you have to understand what the word mean. Mean is average. So if I took the scores that I currently have on the 4 of the games, plus what I will get in the 5th, divide that by 5, and I want the average to equal 90. Now, why did I divide by 5? Because it's the number of games or number of scores divided by, you add up all the scores and divide by how many. So now, multiplying both sides by 5. So 95 plus 91 plus 77 plus 89 plus x is equal to 450. Now, adding the like terms, so add 95 plus 91 plus 77 plus 89, and you get 352. Subtract 325. I'm sorry, subtract 352. Sorry, I said it right and then wrote it wrong. Let me try that again. So 352. Subtract 352. And you get 98. So I would need a 98 on the last game. So a little bit unlikely. 98 points in the last game. Your grade on 4 math tests are 79, 85, 86, and 88. You want a mean grade of at least 85. What grade on your 5th test will you get to get a mean score of 85? And I want to go back for a quick second. I should have wrote this as not as an equal sign. So I need to actually change that real quick. Hold on. I need a score greater than or equal to 90. So x is greater than or equal to 98. So 4 tests, 79, 85, 86, 88, and X. I don't know what I'm going to get on my last test. Divide that by 5 because there's 5 tests, and I want at least, so greater than or equal to 85. So now, multiply both sides by 5. And get 425. Add up the tests that you currently have. So 79 plus 85 plus 86 plus 88 would be 338. And then subtract 338. And get 87. So you would need a score of greater than or equal to 87, we'll say percent on the last test. So how you know an inequality will have a special solution? Anytime the variable is gone. So when you go to solve and the variable is gone, you need to decide whether or not it's going to infinitely many solutions or no solution. And the last one, is -5 a solution to the following? If I plug -5 in for x, is that less than or equal to 2? And again, this is a little foreshadowing here. -5 is +5 minus 3. So 2 less than or equal to 2. The answer to that is yes, because it's equal to. Good luck on your homework assignment. If you have any questions, please make sure that you talk to your teacher. And good luck.